So do you consider yourself a musician who tells stories or a storyteller who's a musician?
Now that's a good question, because a lot of times I will have people come up to me if they see me before a show, or if I do 2 sets and I take a break and they happen to run into me, and they'll say, will you tell this story about this? I saw you once and you told the story about that. Will you tell the story about the time, blah, blah, blah? Because there's lots of stories. So, and then a lot of times they come up to the merch stand and say, does he have records with him talking? Are there records of him talking? Like one time in Canada, I broke my hand skiing at Red Mountain in Alberta. I think it's in Alberta. And I broke my hand, and I couldn't play the show that night. And the guy that owned it said, listen, you just got to get him on stage and talk for 15 minutes because I've sold all these dinners. And I owe a mortgage on this building. My wife's going to kill me. I can't cancel the show. And people won't feel sorry for you because they'll see the cast on your hand, and they'll still stay and buy the dinners. And please promise me you'll do this. I broke it earlier, and he had warned me not to go skiing with the bartender. And of course, I have ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder. So he told me not to ski with him. That meant, so I broke my hand, and I got him on stage, and I ended up talking for an hour and got an encore. So I talked for another 20 minutes, told stories. I've done experiments before where I've just done a show in front of people that have seen me before, and I said, I'm not going to talk. And people were kind of bummed afterwards. They said, you didn't even talk. And then I've done shows where I've done an experiment where, like in Austin, Texas, once I challenged myself to just tell stories for a half hour and then start playing, say goodnight. People were laughing really hard when I walked off stage, and they came back and played. So I find there's got to be a cool balance of stories and songs. And it's really neat to find that sweet spot. But it takes a lot of experimentation and a lot of failure. And that's the other thing about performance. You can't be afraid to fail. You're going to fail a million times. And all that stuff is like high altitude training. Like you're a runner from Kenya, and then you're coming down to running a marathon at sea level. Like you really need to fail a lot. Just take chances, risks. Came out on stage and took my shirt off years ago at a folk concert in probably 1987, and I rubbed Twinkies and Ding Dongs all over my body. I was never invited back to that show, but there are friends of mine that still talk about that moment. I remembered it, and obviously then you get older and you grow up more and you don't do those kind of things, but I always, for whatever reason, liked performance art mixed with songs. I've reached a spot where I feel like I'm in my prime right now at the age of 57.
Okay. Could you tell us just a bit about yourself? I gather you're a Haligonian by birth, and then you moved...
Haligonian by birth, Californian by schooling, and all the relatives and everybody are still in Halifax and Cape Breton and in Canso and Atlas Royal, all in that area. And then I got a bunch in Ontario too. I'm a dual citizen, but I get to play Canada all the time, which I love. So it's really fun.
You've been on the road a lot for quite a few years. How do you keep your performances fresh?
I like to kind of scare myself. I always try to challenge myself, and I'm always thinking, God, what haven't I done in a long time? What? And mix it with brand new stuff. I just want to do whatever rings true. Also, provide a good escape for the audience. I don't want to bring them down. I want to bring them down a little bit.
Just
some point in the show.
Sometimes.
I want to bum them out if I can at some point in the show, but I want to end with redemption. I want there to be some sort of an arc, and I definitely want the show to end in a joyous, raucous celebration involving nudity, fireworks, spontaneous combustion, nudity. Performance is a weird thing. Here's the thing about performance. If somebody doesn't come up to you at the end of the show and say, when are you coming back? And you've done something wrong. If you just play a show and there's no call to action, that to me is like, that would be hell. I want a call to action. I want people excited. I want them saying, when are you coming back? I want to bring friends. Can you play our house? Will you come live with us?
Yeah.
Here, take my car. Do you need my ATM card? I'll give you my PIN.
So what about if they say never come back again?
That's good too.
of the stories you tell a lot on your YouTube videos anyway is the story about how you met and linked up with Jewel.
That story is the classic one that people want to hear, that I'm overtelling, and then a lot of times people say, I have to hear that story, so I'll tell it, and I lie in it more and more now. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
You
Otherwise,
bet.
I would get totally bored.
Yeah.
That's like the most popular story. So if somebody had never seen me, that's the one people film a lot and put up on YouTube. And I always encourage people to film whatever they want at my shows. Like, so I don't mind if people film. It's another thing I feel is that you don't have a problem if people are illegally downloading your material and spreading it around. You have a problem if they're not. And I truly always believe this. If they're not doing that, you have a problem. It means nobody's interested. And I'm not that precious about it. So if somebody buys my CD and they make 10 copies for their friends, I really don't care. Other musicians get mad at me when I say that, but that's the good thing about being your own musician. You can say whatever you want. If you have a following and you've developed a cult following over the years, the world will take care of you if you're doing what you're meant to do. Because we vibrate an energy, and people will be attracted to that want to hear it, and those that don't, it's fine. If you're doing the right work, you're going to be taken care of. That's just the way the world works, energy-wise. I've made a good living doing this. I have nonstop shows around the world, and I get to play music for people, and hopefully I provide joy to them. It's quid pro quo, because I get something when they like what I'm doing. There's an exchange of energy, and hopefully they leave, and while they were there, they've forgotten about, in those 90 minutes, they're not thinking about the fact that their kid's sick, or their best friend is dying, or whatever, their boss is an idiot. Hopefully we take them out of that situation, and there's an escape. And that, to me, is medicine. If you can provide medicine, you have nonstop customers. That's what I am. I'm a pharmacist. And my own distributor, a drug dealer. I'm a doctor.
Now, you have a song called the Folk Singer Song in which you list all the terrible things that happen to musicians on the road and gigs that get cancelled, and you get, stiffed for your money and all this stuff. And it's sort of a litany of woe. How did you come to write that song?
I had gotten main stage Philadelphia Folk Festival, so I started meditating and visualizing that I'm going to write a folk anthem. That's what I started doing. I got up to take a piss. When I was peeing, my pee bubbles formed a face. It was like Santa Claus's face in my pee bubbles, and the pee bubbles started talking to me. It looked like it had a rhythm to the song. And I was like, whoa, I'm being gifted a song from my pee bubbles. So I went out and I started writing down everything, and I was hysterically laughing when I wrote it down. There's so many things that can go wrong on the road. So right away it was like, you'd be pissing in a bottle and you can't see through the fog. A trucker jackknife in the snow up ahead for shoulder radar got you clocked at 87 and a 55. The cops all want to search your car because they think you're high. And I was like, I had this whole cadence, age-old cadence from Bob Dylan doing John's in the Basement.
Yeah, it's like the medicine.
That whole thing. I just wanted that rhythmic rap quality. And so I finally reached the club and they got no posters up. Played to 12 people, half of puking in a cup, which all this stuff has happened. Played to low crowds, drunks. I just wanted to write all the bad stuff that had happened, just because a lot of times people think, man, you're a rock star, because they see like an Instagram feed or they see an article written, and then like, here's what really happens out there. That's why this work is so beautiful, because all these bad things have happened to me, and everything in that song was true. But if it wasn't that hard, everyone would do it. And through all that, there's a good moment that happens. After all these drives and bad things that happen, you have redemption through a great show where you have communion with God. And it's just crazy, the power and the force that you get from that, and the feeling. It's like a drug, and it sustains you enough through all the other bad things that happen. And so when the bad things happen,
speaking of...
Neil Young
yeah.
told Jewel before she went on stage opening for him at Madison Square Garden, and she said, I'm really nervous. This is before she played to a big crowd. And he goes, why? And she said, because I'm opening for Neil Young at Madison Square Garden. And Neil looked at her and he goes, it's just another hash house on the road to success. Show him no respect. And that is the best advice ever.
So listen, on that note, do you have any message for the audience of Mariposa?